Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Finding the Answers with me, Karab Maisala, aka The Answer, because one thing I got, child, it's answers. Okay, so as you would have seen by the title of this video, today I will be talking about ITalki, right? That is the platform where I teach. So that is the platform that I am most experienced to speak about. Okay, so I'll be speaking about what is ITalki, how to apply, what you need to know, my experience, and how much I've made, right? So I'll tell you how much I've made at the end. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's get into it. And I will be
Hey,
Okay, so again, I'll keep looking down because I made notes because I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to steer you guys wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so number one, what is ITalki? ITalki, simply put, is a online teaching platform where students from all over the world can find teachers from anywhere in the world to teach them any language. So it's not specific to just English, but you can teach Spanish, you can teach French, you can teach Zulu, you can teach Afrikaans. Whatever language you want to teach, you can teach. And if there's students who want to learn those languages, they can go on iTalki. I think that they'll just search looking for an English teacher and then you'll come up or whatever. So that's iTalki. It's simply a language platform for students and teachers to teach and learn. Okay, how do you apply? I actually should have asked in the beginning of the video, guys, before even watching too much of this video, if you're not certain that you want to teach, don't, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of research. And yes, watching this video is a great place to start for your research, but don't just depend on what I have to say. I might leave out things, another YouTuber might also leave out things. Do you know what I'm saying? I also did my research, and yes, there were some things that other YouTubers left out that I had to find on my own. Do the research. Simple Google search, simple YouTube search. Do you know what I'm saying? Do the research. I got a DM from someone yesterday asking how do I apply. And at the time I was like, did you even go to iTalki and look at the website? Did you even go to Google? Because guys, it literally, you go to italki.com and there's a little icon that says apply to be a teacher. At the bottom it says become a teacher. You click on those links and you follow the instructions. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You just click on the link and follow the instruction. Okay? So that's step number one, right? After you have selected become a teacher or apply to be a teacher, they're going to ask you, do you want to be a community tutor or do you want to be a professional tutor, right? So I'm going to break down what's the difference. Okay, so I'm using my computer because I'm on the website. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to say anything that isn't there, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm literally on the iTalki website, right? Difference between a professional tutor and a community tutor. A community tutor, right, is just obviously I'm paraphrasing, but you can look for it yourself. But a community tutor is a tutor who doesn't have any teaching experience, any teaching qualifications. All you're going to do is just chat. All you're going to do is just chat with students, have conversations about their day, have conversations about their goals, their lives. You're not going to teach them grammar and vocabulary and business language and all of those things, right? That is what a community tutor does. All they do is have conversations. Community tutors are friendly, helpful, knowledgeable, and use their time to provide students with conversation practice, right? As a community tutor, you can charge between $5 and $80. So minimum you can charge per lesson is $5 and maximum is $80 per lesson, right? You can have three courses. So for example, course number one could be how was your day, or talking about your day. Course number two could be speaking about movies. Course number 3 could be how to say hello in different languages or whatever, right? Just simple things. So yes, and your language category options are limited to general and conversational practice. I'll speak a little bit more about this when I speak about professional teacher, okay? And then credentials, you don't need a degree, you don't need a TEFL, you don't need anything to become a community tutor. All right. Professional tutor. This is what I am. This is what I teach as. I am a professional teacher on ITalki. Professional teacher, basically you are a teacher with experience or qualifications. So my qualifications are TEFL, my TEFL certificates and my honors degree, right? So it says here, professional teachers have training as educators or extensive professional teaching experience. They provide students with resources. This is very important. They provide students with resources, prepared material, and structured lesson plans to help students reach their goals, right? So this means, as a professional tutor, you will, so you can have let me just double check, 6 course numbers things. So for example, I teach general conversations, making a speech, how to structure a debate. And then I have TEFL if you want to learn the TEFL course and you're doing it and you need extra help, I can help you with that. Film terminology and breakdown, basically I'll say, okay, we're going to watch this movie and then we're going to discuss this movie, break down the themes, break down the character analysis and stuff like that. And then the last one, do I have another one? I can't remember. But anyways, so your lesson category options, right, are general conversational practice, business, test preparation, and kids. So this means you can teach students, especially adults from a broad business language, right? So how to negotiate, how to speak and make formal conversations in meetings and business lingo and stuff like that, right? And you can also teach kids test preparation, which will be like your IETLS, I can't remember, but there's like English tests for people who want to work in English speaking countries. So a lot of the times, like if you want to migrate to Canada or work in Canada, there's a particular test you have to write. So some students will want help with that test. There's the aptitude test as well that I've helped students with. It's also just a test to measure your level of English. So you can help people with that as well, right? You can charge as a professional teacher minimum $10 and maximum $80. So you can charge more than a community tutor, right? So yes, as a professional tutor, you have to prepare lessons. So this is quite easy. I literally just go onto Google and I'll search. So for example, if my student wants to learn conditionals, go into Google, conditional lesson plans PDF, and a whole bunch of lists come up. So you don't have to be stressed and nervous. Oh my gosh, what am I going to teach? How am I going to set it up? Google is your best friend. Google is your mate. Google is your homie. Just Google whatever it is you're looking for. Don't panic, don't stress, right? So there's there's Dave's Cafe, ESL, lesson plans. There's just a whole bunch of platforms that allow you to find class material, lesson plans, exercises, PDFs, crosswords, and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So use those things to teach if you want to teach as a professional tutor. Okay, so what you need to know as someone who wants to apply, right? A lot of people have come back to me and like, hey Karabo, I've applied as a community tutor and I've been rejected. So I can't speak on it 100% because I didn't really do my research properly. But I remember watching a video on YouTube from a teacher who was teaching in China. And she was saying that the Chinese have changed the laws about, I think, the requirements of becoming an English teacher. So I suspect that the Chinese people are being a lot more strict with your qualifications to teach English. Like, I think it's not enough now just to be able to speak English or just come from a native English speaking country. I think they really want qualified people, probably to, improve the quality of their English. So I'm assuming that is why a lot of people who have been applying for community tutor have been rejected, because I am assuming, and please don't quote me, please don't hold me against this, I am not 100% sure, but I'm assuming, I am guessing from my wild imagination, I am guessing that ITalki, because it's a Chinese platform, they are phasing out the underqualified teachers and just focusing on the qualified teachers, right? So I would suggest, if you want to teach and you want to obviously be accepted, do your TEFL certificate and apply with the TEFL certificate. I didn't have experience, right? I had zero experience teaching, but I still made it. So the experience isn't the issue. I think it's your qualification. So have the TEFL certificate. If you have a degree, mwah, even better. If you don't, I don't think it's a train smash. But whatever education that you have, add it there to the document. After you apply as a professional tutor, they'll ask you to upload documents, obviously. So yes, know that. And if you want your chances of applying higher, apply as a professional tutor with your international. Apply as a professional teacher with your TEFL certificate. In my previous video, I did speak about what the TEFL certificate is, where to find it, and there's a link to a very affordable TEFL certificate that you can do. Okay, so after you apply, you will either be pre-approved or rejected. If you're pre-approved, they'll send you email saying you're pre-approved, and then you have to upload some documents like your ID. Yeah, you'll have to upload your ID and something else I can't really remember. And then they will tell you you have to attend a Zoom training call. Attend that call. Attend it. It is mandatory, right? It's kind of a trick, right? Not really a trick, but a trick, because that Zoom meeting it's very long, and it's with like a whole bunch of other students who have been, not students, teachers who have been pre-approved, right? They teach you how to use the platform, what the wallet is, what the lesson is, where the students are, and whatever. And then at the very end of that session, the host says, send me your email address. And if you don't send the email address because you were sleeping or you decided to mute the video, the Zoom call, and go watch TV, then you're not going to make it, honey. You're not going to be approved. Because they want to know who attended the lesson, who actually learned how to use the ITalki platform. So if you're not going to be there, if you're not going to listen, then you're going to miss out on the opportunity. So stay until the end. Don't be lazy. Just stay until the end, okay? Listen to me. Stay until the end. All right? Great. So, yeah, after that, they will tell you, congratulations, you have been accepted, or hi, buddy, you have been rejected. Cool. Now you are an English teacher. What do you need? Number one, before you even start the application process, and I probably should have put this first, before you even start, you need to have reliable Wi-Fi. Data is not even going to help you, my friend. It's really not, Shuni. You need to have reliable Wi-Fi, because data high delay, and on a chelete like data. What are you gonna do? You know? So there's quite a few YouTubers who've spoke about buying like affordable routers, and MTN has deals and Vodacom has deals. Just check whatever network provider that you use or that you like, and find out like what deals they have for Wi-Fi, and just get a router. Do you know what I mean? Just get a router. You need to have Wi-Fi, because they test even I think before you're accepted, they do like a speed test, or internet connection speed test. If you fail that, you fail. So you need to have reliable Wi-Fi. You need to have this baby, right? She is a headphone with a mic over here, right? So this is what you will use to teach your students. You speak here, you listen to them here. I can't tell you where I got him. I got him at home. My brother had him for a very long time. I don't know if he's a gamer or what, but he had this. I was very fortunate that I already had this to my disposal, but I think you can find them on Take-A-Lot. You can find them at Pick and Pay. Actually, my dad went, because his headphones stopped working, and he went to Pick and Pay, and I think he got them for like 200 rand, less than 200 rand. So yes, you can find these things also at Pick and Pay, and Shoko Game, or wherever. Find these babies and use them, because your normal earphones that you use for your music, they don't work the same. I've tried it before and my students couldn't hear me properly. So try getting these. You need these, right? You obviously need a computer that works, that's fast enough to handle the ITalki software, But so when you teach on ITalki, right, you can choose to teach on the ITalki platform, or you can teach on Skype and Zoom. So it'll also depend on what is accessible for the students. I had a student from, I think, Saudi Arabia who didn't have Skype. Yeah, I didn't have Skype. I can't remember about Zoom. But sometimes we'd have, if the ITalki platform wasn't working, then we'd have WhatsApp video calls. So obviously it'll also depend on the student, but you don't have to specifically only teach on the platform. So once you are accepted, right, then you're gonna have to go and complete your teacher profile, right? That is where you will record your video, you will write what you were about, you will write let me just get the thing quickly. So you'll write what you're about, and then you'll also set up your schedule, your lessons, and all of that. Okay, so the video is very, very important. That is what the students will look at. First thing, when they see the profile, they'll look at your video, obviously to hear your accent, to see if your accent is one that they'll be able to understand, you know. What I have also learned through my research is that a lot of the students look for neutral accent. So nothing too heavy, nothing too, you know, where the pronunciations are very off that they won't understand. So South African accents, and obviously they prefer American accents because America is like the big one. But yeah, South African accents are pretty neutral, so they do book us a lot. So if you have like a heavy, maybe like Zulu accent or Pedi accent or whatever, try to keep it as neutral as possible so that students from all over the world can be comfortable with how you speak, right? So that they don't fear not understanding you or not hearing you. So try to speak in a neutral accent. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I will post a link to my profile so you can see what I said in my video. You have to obviously look neat, clear background, you have to articulate. I can't remember what you have to say. I think you have to mention your qualifications, why you love teaching. I've done a lot of videos for a lot of different applications, so I will just leave the link to my ITalki teacher profile. Have a look what I said for my about, what I included, obviously what I didn't include, so that you can see what I did to get accepted. Okay, hopefully it'll help. So now I'm going to speak about my experience on ITalki. Okay, after you are approved, right? I think it takes like a week and a half to 2 weeks. Yo, you'll wait, hey? In this thing, you'll wait. You will learn patience. Let me tell you, you will learn patience. Yo, you wait. That time you're broke, you're depressed, you're unemployed, and you're just like, yo, yeah, you'll wait. But anyways, after that week or whatever, right? Then all of a sudden students come flooding in. So I think the platform sort of puts you high on the algorithm so that when new students look for teachers, they find you immediately. And I think they do that for like a week or two, because that week or two, I had students after students after students after students after students, right? So what I would suggest you do, a lot of people will tell you, keep your schedule open 24 hours so that you can be more accessible to students. And I guess that's great, but for your mental health, it's like a nightmare. For your physical well-being, it's a nightmare, because you could be teaching a student from 12 o'clock in the morning, 12, because most of them are trials, right? So 12 to half past 12, half past 12 to 1, 1 to half past 1, half past 1 to 2, back to back to back to back to back to back to back, 7 students. You'll cry. You'll cry. So what I would suggest you do, right? Yes, have your schedule as open as you can so that more students can find you accessible, especially students in different time zones, right? What I would suggest is that have hourly breaks within your slots, right? So if you have a slot open from 1 to 2, that means if you have trial lessons, you'll have 2 lessons in that hour, and then you can rest for an hour, right? And then again from say 3 to 4, you either have 1 hour lesson, or if someone books an hour and a half, then if someone books for an hour and a half, then you can have it from 3 to half past 4. So open your slots according to your lessons as well, because what you do is when you set up your lessons and your prices, you set up the time lessons that you want. So there's 30 minutes, there's 45 minutes, there's an hour, and there's 90 minutes. So I have the options to teach for I think an hour is non-negotiable. The platform tells you you have to have lessons for an hour. So you can have, so I have 30 minutes, an hour, and 90 minutes, and then I obviously charge according to that. So for 30 minutes, it'll be like $10, an hour, $11, and then 90 minutes, $12, right? Also, you want to have competitive prices. there's a million teachers there. So if you're gonna charge $20 for 30 minutes, nobody's gonna book your ass because they can just book another person who's charging 10. So be smart about your prices. Do what I did. Start at the minimum, $10 for all your lessons, and then as you get more consistent students, then you can start increasing your prices a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yes. See, now I'm losing my train of thought. But after you start, getting used to it, you've set up a proper schedule, you know what you're doing, it gets easier. It gets easier. So trial lessons are usually the most scary because that's like your make or break. That is your first impression. That is where a student decides, you know what, I like this person or I don't like this person. So you want to leave a lasting impression with the student. So be prepared, right? I wish somebody told me this. I feel like I could have had like 50 regular students if I was more prepared, right? Be prepared in the sense that have a generic lesson plan, right? So it's a trial lesson, the student has never met you before. Don't immediately say, okay, today we're learning grammar, Have like a list of questions you want to ask them. So what is your level of English? How often do you speak English? What are your hobbies? Do you enjoy reading? Do you enjoy watching movies? What kinds of lessons would you want? Do you want homework? Do you not want homework? Do you want exercises? Do you prefer having debates and conversations? Or do you prefer if I teach you something and then I test you? Do you know what I'm saying? To feel the student out. And then maybe that could be 10 minutes. And then prepare like a game or an exercise. I don't know, like charades or guess the word, or have a topic, okay, let's talk about coronavirus. How has it affected you? What do you feel about the vaccinations? Have you heard that, there's, a phenomenon of people called anti-vaxxers? What is your opinion on that? You know what I'm saying? Be prepared so that the student can tell, okay, this person is serious. I'm comfortable with this person and they know what they're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like that in the beginning. I wasn't like that, and I genuinely believe I lost out on an opportunity to have regular students because I wasn't prepared. Only later I was like, you know what, let me just draw up a lesson plan, a generic lesson plan for all my students, So that's a tip for your trial lessons. Have a generic lesson plan for all your trial lessons, right? Another tip is, I had it and then it left. It just, another tip, create files for each of your students, especially if they come back, right? So take down notes. Okay, this student enjoys movies, so maybe I can center our English lessons around talking about movies. Or this one enjoys whatever, figure out what they like and then try to cater the lesson around that so that they feel like you acknowledge their likes and dislikes and you're not just forcing whatever you think is good for them, but you're actually working on what their needs are. So do that. Have files and then look for lessons that you think will suit this type of students, right? And then also there's students with different levels, right? So you'll get, I think it starts from A1 or B1 to C1. So it's like 0, can't speak, at all, or has basic hello, how are you, and that's it, to advanced, which is C1. So during that trial lesson, figure out where that student is so that you can find, for example, if their student is maybe B2, they can have a conversation. Maybe some grammar is wrong, or sometimes they don't have enough vocabulary to express what they want. Then you can look for B1 lesson plans, right? Always have Google Translate open. Always. I had a student once who could barely speak English, and I think at the time, because it was in the beginning and I was so nervous, like I didn't know what to do. I was so stressed. Like I tried to be patient. I tried to, every time I'd be like, is that your daughter? He wouldn't understand anything. I would be like, What's your job? He just like shake his head. Yo, guys. Scary things. Have Google Translate open. Find out what their language is so that you can put in English to their language, and then if you can even play it from the Google Voice thing, even better. But just make a plan. The point is you want to keep as many students as you can. So work as hard as you can to do that. I right now only have like 2, 3, 4 regular students, right? And like I'm saying, I could have had so many more if I was prepared. Okay. So again, like I said with the lesson plans, just Google. Just go in and say conditional worksheets PDF, or teaching verbs PDF, or if it's kids, alphabet worksheets PDF, colors worksheets PDF, kids worksheets PDF. Just Google everything, and there's like a wealth of resources that you can use. Honestly, I feel like this is information I wish I had. I really wish this was information that I had before I started teaching. Okay, so now to get into how much I've made, right? So I downloaded my statement from, so I said I started teaching around August, September. So I just said end of August. I hope that's correct, yes. End of August 31st to today's date, which is the 2nd of February. And the total credits earned is $1,352.60. So if you put that into USD to ZAR, that is 20,647 Rand and 95 cents. So that is how much money I have made in total teaching on ITalki, right? But ITalki obviously does take a percentage of your money, right? ITalki actually, they take the most reasonable amount of money, right? There was another platform I taught on that I don't really want to speak on it, but there's another platform that I taught on, and they charged like 30% or something. I'm not sure what the percentage here, but it's reasonable. It's very reasonable, the amounts of money they take. So out of that $1,352, ITalki's service fee is $185.35. So that would be 2,867 that they have taken out of the entire 20 grand, 20K, 20 grand. Yes, that's correct, 20 grand. It sounds so big when I say it like that. So that means in total, I have made, if I subtract the total minus the service fee, it is 1,165. So that would be, so the amount of money that has come into my bank account after deducting ITalki's service fee is 17,796 Rand. So I had posted on Twitter, I think in December, that I had officially made 17K, which I think was not correct, because I think at the time I didn't deduct the service fee. So maybe it was like 15K at the time. So I might have lied to the people. But anyway, it's February the 2nd now, 2022, and I've officially made 17,796 Rand on ITalki, right? So another thing I should add is that with ITalki, you're allowed to receive the money through, I think, PayPal and Pioneer. I can't remember exactly, but I use Pioneer. Pioneer also charges like a very small fee, like a very, 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 very like small fee that it's even insignificant. So I would suggest you make a Pioneer account when you apply for ITalki, so that your money goes through Pioneer, and from Pioneer to your account, it takes like a day. ITalki itself takes so long to give you your money. Oh my gosh. ITalki takes a very long time, a very long time to pay your money. So what you have to do is when you want to withdraw your money, you will let's say you withdraw on the 1st of February, or you put in a withdrawal request on the 1st of February. Your money will only get paid out, I think, from the 16th of February to the end of February. And when I say end, the end, like the last day. So you can expect your money on the last day after requesting it on the 1st, right? And if you requested it from the 16th, between the 16th and the 30th, expect it between the 1 and the 10th of the next month. So whenever you want to withdraw from ITalki, don't withdraw when you're in immediate need of that money, right? I mean, you can make an immediate request, but I think it costs you. I've never done it. I've never needed to request my money immediately, but I think there is the option to do that if you're like desperate for your money. But otherwise, be patient. Just be patient when I go high, because like I said, this entire process will teach you patience. So yeah, I believe we are at the end of the video. This is the part where I have to say, please, for the sake of this dimmer sound, like the video, especially if it helped you. Subscribe to my channel, and share the video as well if you have friends or family, especially graduates who've just finished and they don't know what they're gonna do now that they're sitting in the land of unemployment. Share this video so that they can hop on to the teaching English online journey and make that money, okay? Great, thank you so much. Stay tuned. In my next video, I will be speaking about teaching abroad, my application for applying to South Korea and the JET program, which is a Japanese program. So yeah, I'll speak on a little bit. I haven't been accepted, okay, but I'm gonna speak about the process. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.